Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is September the 26th, 2022, and today the topic is planning ahead. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Man, I tell you what, this weekend was one for the record books. Your girl has been engulfed in a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. I definitely have to give some shout outs this morning. First of all, I want to say thank you, and shout out to my sister, Miss Summer Sims. To God be the glory for you and our relationship and everything like that. Thank you for getting your girl in the room. Basically, for those of you all that do not follow me, on my social medias and whatnot, and didn't get a sneak peek at what was going on this weekend. Summer invited me to a brand managing mastermind. And the interesting thing is, you guys know that through GSL, I spoke with a gentleman, and he does masterminds and whatnot. I spoke with him a few months ago, and I believe I told you all that I got a consultation with him and everything. And he gave me some feedback and whatnot about my business endeavors and everything like that. But lo and behold, months later, here comes Summer inviting me to the event this weekend. And so here I am in a group of maybe like me and seven other entrepreneurs, and we're all just kind of, receiving information from the lady that was, hosting the event, Miss Aries Squires. I guess a well-known brand manager and everything like that. And it just was good. It just was good to be at this table of women that are building their own tables, if that makes any sense. So again, shout out to Miss Summer for that invitation, and thinking of me and everything like that. I truly enjoyed the experience. It was a lot, I'm not gonna lie, like leaving after it was like from like 10 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. And so leaving those events and coming back home and whatnot, I felt like I had a headache. And I don't know if it was just because I was just receiving so much information or what. But yeah, I mean, again, to God be the glory for opportunities. And, I'm looking forward to see what the Lord is going to do with me, for me, and through me, regarding all of the information that I took in. I mean, I'm already, wanting to make some steps to get things better, more organized and everything. Because I do believe there's something to be said for having faith, but at the same time, it's something to be said for, doing things decent and in order as well. So, yeah, I mean, I know we're going to talk a little bit more about that because today's topic is planning ahead. But before I get into that, I also have one more lady to shout out. Her name is Miss Rachel Pope. Rachel Pope. She is based in Richmond, Virginia, and she has a nonprofit called Can We Talk? I'm giving her a shout out today because this lovely lady, not only, again, was she there, I mean, it's already amazing that she came from Virginia to Atlanta to experience this mastermind, and everything like that. So that speaks volumes as well. But she decided to invest in your girl. She ended up purchasing a copy of The Juice, the 30-day Bible study journal that your girl has created, my very first publication. She decided to purchase that. So I want to give her a shout out this morning, for her taking out the time and investing in your girl, and seeing value in what, has been created in this season and everything like that. I got some good feedback regarding my business and whatnot. So it's very interesting. We're going to see what the Lord do with all the information and whatnot that I receive. But just know your girl's wheels is turning. I already got some ideas and makes a few moves, and I'm trying to, again, to just get to a better place overall. So, because yeah, I feel a shift happening, and I guess in this season, in this moment, I'm preparing for the shift and everything like that. So we're gonna see what the Lord do with all of this, but yeah, excited about what God is doing. So yeah, that was my weekend in a nutshell and everything like that. But let's get into the juice because again, the topic is planning ahead, and so I'm seeing what the word has to say about this because again, I feel like I talk about this all the time. So I'm sorry, if people listen to me consecutively and y'all are like, you talking about faith again? You talking about works again? You talking about, but there's a renewed well, one, there's something renewed in me. Something I'm learning in this particular season that's new. But then also, again, just because we're having this faith and works conversation again doesn't mean that something y'all can't receive something different, so anywho, yeah, planning ahead. Again, like I told you all, in this particular season, and I say the post-COVID season, right? I feel like I tell y'all all the time, I'm living by faith, right? Because I'm literally just, hustling from home. I have all these endeavors, and I'm doing this, and and God is providing. Last week, if I was to look at my accounts, basically I didn't really have what I needed to pay the team and things like that, and it makes me feel like, man, do I need to go back to square one? Like, do I need to go and get a job again? All those different thoughts that I've told you guys, when I had them and everything like that. But then there's something within me in this particular season that's like, no, like, look at what has been established in this season of you being home and hustling from home and whatnot. You have so many endeavors that bring in funds. They just bring in funds sporadically, um and so I mean, I just need to get more diligent, right? I need to get more intentional, like just as intentional as I'm being with GSL. I need to be with business endeavors, and so my mind is shifting in regards to that, and again, I believe that's coming from this weekend and everything that I engulfed and whatnot. But yeah, like because again, I think I told you all, like, the way I am now with GSL is new for me. Again, I would, kind of fall by the wayside and get discouraged in the past. And so now I'm in a place where I'm like, wow, I can see the fruit from being consistent and everything like that, right? And so now I just got to figure out how to transfer that into my business endeavors. Even though GSL, I guess, is somewhat of a business endeavor, but I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know if you would say volunteer or something. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a nonprofit in some sorts. I do say that I'm kind of collaborated with my mother's nonprofit. But I guess I mean, well, I don't necessarily think I want to create a nonprofit for GSL, but I don't know. We'll see what the Lord do regarding that. But right now I'm cool with being in association with my mom's nonprofit, Inspirational Outreach. That's totally fine because again, I just all of my ideas and whatnot, I've just pretty much done under my business name. But regardless of all of that, basically, again, living by faith is cool, right? Trusting the Lord with every aspect is cool. Like, I think we should do it, but at the same time, we need to put in work as well. Our works also confirms and shows our faith. And I've seen that, and I've been doing that with this endeavor, which I am thankful for. I don't know if you all know or not, but GSL is almost at 1,000 videos on our channel. Like, to God be the glory for that. That's mind blowing by itself. Let alone, you know, how many books I published and, the team that I have now, the fact that I'm not alone. I literally have people that are working with me. I see the growth, right? I see the growth. But at the same time, I guess to get to another level, I need to, put some more diligence into the work, right? And so that's when I was golfed in this weekend. And and I guess that's what I'm sharing with you all, that we need to kind of plan ahead. Focus on what you can do today and not get stressed about it. Because again, I told y'all I would always reach for the future and whatnot. So we can't like stress about the future or nothing like that. And again, I think there's balance, right? There's being letting the Lord lead and guide us in the plan. That as well is very important as well. But let's just say we're someone that don't have a plan at all. Let's just say we're somebody that is like, maybe we don't know our purpose, whatever the case is, then, we might need to start to be diligent, right? Start to, make some shifts and changes in our mindset regarding that. So I don't know where you are, whoever's listening to the sound of my voice, I don't know where you are in your journey. But, I'm talking about planning ahead. And so you guys can, fit that in wherever you are, whether it's starting to plan or continuing the plan or finishing up one plan and starting another one. So let's get into it. So Proverbs 11:14 says, where there is no guidance, a people falls. But here we go. Vision. There is, I believe this, sorry, y'all. Abundance of counselors. Okay, I see what it's saying. So I think this what had happened here is my pen was starting to fade as I kept trying to write. But anyway, let's start this over, y'all. Proverbs 11:14. Where there is no guidance, a people falls. But in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. So yeah, again, when we're alone, we're trying to just make it. And again, if we fall, we might get discouraged and whatnot. So it's good to have people that we can, that can hold us accountable and everything like that. Like I said, even yesterday or over the weekend, it was good to be amongst this group of entrepreneurs that can look at each other and give advice based on what they were receiving from whatever we were sharing and stuff. Because again, when you're talking to people, other people can have different perspectives on your situation. Like it's easier to look at someone else and kind of see some things that that person that's actually in the situation doesn't see. And so, you definitely want to get around the right type of people. You definitely want to get around people with wisdom, knowledge, believers in God, that can give you some solid, good counsel. You don't want to just be around people that, are going to, either stray you off of the path and things like that. But yeah, that's just something to keep on our hearts and minds about, guidance and whatnot. So let's get some guidance and get around wise counsel. Proverbs 21:5 says, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. So yeah, we can't be too hasty out here. Again, there's nothing wrong with making a plan. I just say you got to let God lead the plan. I think it's more, important to seek God for his will and his plan versus just going out here and doing things according to your own plan. And then you're doing it willy-nilly. You don't have any guidance. You're doing it hastily. And then you find yourself falling. I believe that what I'm receiving in the word, as well as what I see in my life, is that the more I align my plan with God's plan, plans flourish, plans grow, and everything like that. And so, yeah, and it might look different than what you think too, because here's the thing, like, again, stepping out on faith with GSL and saying, hey, I'm going to do daily inspiration. Who would have known that that was going to be the thing that kicked off all the other endeavors and dreams and goals that I had, from making the talk show to making the books to, we got a movie in the works, all those different things came from that first step of faith, right? But that's me going with God's plan of creating GSL. When I was trying to just do my own thing or trying to be in other people's things or whatever, I would see either those plans fail or, you know, it just wouldn't get to the next level and just all these different things. But once I started to get in, I guess, like they say, in alignment and be obedient to what the Lord was telling me to do, he allowed those things to grow in its time, in his way. Because again, I can't sit here and be like, oh yes, I'm making billions of dollars doing GSL. Like, no, that's not my testimony, right? But at the end of the day, I can see the growth, because at the end of the day, I actually have a team working with me now. That is growth, because I used to do everything alone. And that's huge for me. Like, I got people that is working with me now. So that's a blessing. That's growth. That's God ordained, right? Same thing with the amount of content that has been created. Like, y'all saw Miracle by herself was doing maybe like 12 videos and I would stop. I would do like maybe 10 videos and I would stop. But the fact that GSL is almost at 1,000 videos right now, and I only started this in 2020, like, to God be the glory. That is like amazing. Like, again, this is what God do, right? When you get in alignment with his will, his way, his stuff. And so yeah, just sharing that this morning in regards to plans and whatnot. But let's keep going. Proverbs 22 and 29. Do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. Well, hey, to God be the glory for that, y'all. Be skillful at your work and you're going to stand before kings. Speaking of that, let's keep going. Proverbs 18 and 9. Whoever is slack in his work is a brother to him who destroys. Ooh, that might be potent. We don't like that. I don't want to be a brother to anybody that's destroying anything. Like, I want to build, I want to grow, I want to flourish, I want to continue to build. I don't want to be destroying, you know, any of the things, anything. So yeah, that's just something to think about today. Like, which one are you? Right? Are you building or are you destroying? If you want to build, then we got to make some changes. We got to, shift some mindsets. We got to do some things differently, right? But if you content in destroying, I don't know what to say to you. Like, I hope that you would shift your mindset and start building, because you don't know who needs you. That's the thing too. It's like, there's people out here that are waiting for you to do what you're supposed to be doing, so then you can help and bless them to do what they're supposed to be doing. So again, and I would always be convicted. I would see a quote that was similar to that over the years, and I would always feel like, that's me. I need to get in the right place, the right time, and I can see like the benefits of that. I know people come back and tell me X, Y, and Z about how they feel about me or how I encourage or whatever the case is. And I just think that's by being obedient. It's by being obedient to what God has me to do, whatever that might be, whether it's with business or not, whether it could be just with friendships, relationships, whatever. Getting into alignment and obedience with God and his will and way, you'll see, people being blessed by you and your testimony. So just saying, y'all, let's build and not destroy. Well, y'all, let me see. I got one more verse for y'all. It's Luke 14 and 28. It says, for which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost whether he has enough to complete it. So, I mean, again, there's something to be said by living by faith. That's what I've been doing. All these past couple of years, I've just been living by faith, X, Y, and Z. God has been providing, again, to God be the glory that, I was able to receive some funds to pay my team and whatnot, finally, and whatnot. So shout out to both Elizabeth and Boomer for being patient, because they are the ones that I kind of collaborate with monthly, and the other ones are kind of like sporadically, the other team members and whatnot. But so I appreciate them and their patience and their grace and mercy towards me, right? And my season of being fluctuating income and everything that I'm going through and living by faith and whatnot. And again, to God be the glory for opportunities and things that He's blessed me with to receive funds in this season, so I can, bless the people that are working with me and blessing me, and everything like that. So it works out, right? But at the same time, I guess as I continue to grow and build and move forward into the other goals, visions, ideas, dreams, whatever it is that the Lord wants me to do. Obviously, there's some things I need to shift, right? There's some preparations I need to make. There's some goals I need to make and everything like that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what the Lord's going to do with all of this as I do my best to be obedient to, the wisdom and knowledge and whatnot that I have received. And y'all, that's the juice. Ultimately, that's the juice today. Let's plan ahead. Again, don't worry about it. Don't have anxiety. Don't fret about the future, but at least write the vision, right? You can write down the goals, write down the dreams, write down the things that the Lord gives you. Make moves today for whatever you can do. And then and then then the next day do what you can, and then the next day do what you can, and as you continue to do that, we'll see the fruits from that. And yeah, that's the juice, y'all. That is the juice. We can go deeper with this. There are some specific instructions for people that are ready to make plans and everything like that. So those are in the Go Deeper section for anybody that needs those more things to encourage and inspire us in this conversation of planning ahead. But the Bible verse of today is 2 Chronicles 7:14. It says, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired to plan ahead. That is what your girl is going to be working on myself. Again, there's a lot of things that I need to get together. I do need to get some goals together. I need to get some structure, as they say. But again, it's God be the glory for again, the opportunity to receive that wisdom, right? Because and I see things are lining up, because again, I told y'all that I had signed up for this financial fitness small group that Mountain West is doing, and then again, to get this invitation to this brand mastermind situation was a blessing, and something that just kind of seems to really fit in with this particular moment in my life. And so I see God doing something, like He's working on something within me to get ready, right, for something. And so whatever that may be, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Lord do. I'm looking forward to being obedient and work on the things that I can, and then let the Lord do whatever else He wants to do with what the obedience and whatnot. And so again, because I've seen great things just from the being diligent and consistent and everything like that, with GSL and everything. So yeah, I mean, it was an exciting weekend, even though it was a lot of information, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I want to say both days I left with headaches and everything like that. But again, to be in that room of be at the table with women that are building their own tables was a blessing. So yeah, shout out again to Miss Summer Sims. Be on the lookout for her and her endeavors, because I believe she's going to have an amazing, revamp of her business and whatnot, prayerfully based on this. I'm going to do my best to assist her in whatever way I can with that, and everything like that. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what the Lord's going to do with all of this. But all right, y'all. Well, I can go on and on. So I won't do that. I'm gonna let y'all go. And I guess start these wheels to turn, and I'm gonna try to rest a little bit. Since again this weekend was so much information. But not too much because there already have been some moves that I was like, let me make some moves here. Let me do some things and see what I can do to make some shifts. So and get some plans together and whatnot. So yeah, y'all. I mean, prayerfully, at the end of the day, all these things will work together for the good, and y'all, I mean, I guess will ultimately lead to more content for y'all, right? Hopefully, and everything like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited about what the Lord is doing. And yeah, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye.